Yo, what's up, duelists? I'm here with the legendary HT19, HT19 Hector. What's up, dude?
What's up? What's up? Chicago, baby.
He's in the house, literally in my house. What's going on? We're here with RBET Las Vegas Tailgate predictions, and we're going to get into it in a second. I just got to share the stream real quick. Okay, hold up. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. A little bit of late night Edison action before the calm before the storm type shit, right?
Oh yeah, super hyped.
Dude, I'm excited. I actually didn't think that this many people would come through for this one, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is like huge ass convention too.
It's massive,
You're
dude.
never gonna run out of things to do. You scrub up, just enjoy the rest of the day at the convention or something, right?
Literally, dude. And there's like side events. There's like infinite things you could do. The mats. Speaking of which, what's up, Alex? How you doing? This is I think one of the gifts from Yggdrasil. I think this is either Saturday or Sundays. Have you seen the other one?
I have the dark end one, right?
Not
or dark end like.
Yeah, not exactly, but yes, yes. Let me see. I have a photo of it. I have this photo of it.
Yes.
That's so. I want it so bad. Anyway, we're gonna be predicting what does well this weekend, and by does well I mean gets second place, because Hector's obviously getting first place.
Hopefully.
Snow says is RBET tomorrow. Tomorrow, no, but I will be shooting a.
Well, technically, yes.
Well, yeah, technically yes, because it's 1 a.m. So, but no, it starts Saturday, Saturday and Sunday. The mat is crazy, dude. It's so fucking hard. This one goes so fucking hard. Let me see if I can pull up the other one real quick. Let's see if I can just put it in the Discord and then pull it up or whatever. Do you ever use Discord as like a file share service to yourself? I have like a whole bunch of stuff in like a private Discord server that I just like share with myself, like, and I can pull it up whenever.
Can't say I've specifically done that before, but that is one way to get stuff from your phone to your PC or vice versa.
One very free way to do it. If I haven't answered your Discord DMs, I'm sorry. I have 1,000 to get through. All right. What is this? 1 second. We'll show you guys the other mats that are going to be showcased this weekend. What is up, everybody? What is up, duelists? Welcome in. This is the other one. This one's fucked. This one's so cool. I want this one so bad.
Yeah, that one is so nice.
Why does this have to be my tournament? Why can't I play
legendary?
This tournament? Oh my god. Yggdrasil does a great job. You're right, Pascal. Dude, welcome in, everybody. We're going to be discussing the meta. Just types Blackwing into the search bar. We're going to be discussing the meta at RBET Las Vegas this weekend. And we're going to be discussing which decks we think are going to do well. Outside of, obviously, Hector's, which is clearly going to do well, right? And this one is... You have to win this.
I have to.
If I can't win it, someone's going to win it. But good morning, Pascal. How are you doing? Shout out all the European viewers tuning in right now as we're getting underway. So you think Blackwings is a good deck, right? Like that's like an opinion.
I think it's okay. I think you could say. I particularly like that deck.
Tier 3, tier 2.5 maybe. Okay, what else do you think is like kind of slept on?
Slept on?
Yeah, because everybody knows my opinions right now, but this is your first time here, right? You've never been on this channel? You've been on this channel at least once, right? Winner's interview, maybe?
Probably that's about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and probably like co-commentary on stream too. But I mean, I said let's just knock out the big ones out of the way. So obviously, Blackwing, Value, Frog. Those always have the best chance of doing well. I mean, I'm a meta guy, so I try not to think too much about.
Try not to think about the random deck that's gonna
yeah.
bully a certain deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Slept on. Someone says Amaryllis is still slept on. Amaryllis is kind of slept on. That deck's pretty good. How do you feel it goes against Black Wings?
I love going up against Amaryllis when I'm on Black Wings. Like it's
free, right?
It's a pretty easy matchup for me. I gotta say. That being said, it is undisclosed if I'm playing Black Wings this weekend. But I mean, it's safe to assume, right?
He has said the word Black Wings 18 times since the stream has started. So.
But Amaryllis is definitely on a downtrend right now.
Weirdly, because it just got reprinted, I thought it would uptick a lot more with the accessibility, but turns out it's people just want to play Gigaplant.
Just got reprinted too, yeah.
Yeah, that too. Gigaplant's not bad.
Yeah, Gigaplant is solid, but are you willing to roll 66% of the on all your games, right?
I am. I absolutely am. But I know you are not. I know you are not, which is totally valid.
What I think is probably a better combo deck, personally, is Forgs.
You think Forgs is better?
I like Forgs more than Giga, because it's just that much more consistent.
You think
it's way more consistent, yeah.
But do you think that the lower ceiling and, not being able to do something...
I think it has just as high of a ceiling.
Well, it can't
not
FTK.
Opening hand.
Yeah, it can't FTK. I definitely think Gigaplant has a higher ceiling, but it's less consistent for sure. You're not gonna hit that FTK every time. You're gonna hit it maybe 20% of the time, maybe, if that.
For a Gigaplant?
Yeah, how often do you open the combo in the deck going first?
Probably not that much. I feel a lot of times when I play it against the deck, do
you want to move closer here? I don't know if that make you more comfortable or whatever, but feel free to adjust however.
Yeah, Gigaplants, usually the first couple of turns they're passing, at least the first turn or something. I feel that's half their games. It's just draw, pass.
So you're saying half their games is draw, pass, and then maybe another half is
the other half is mostly your standard Giga plant end board with your Gigaplant equipment, Titanial, and maybe the power tool, right?
That's pretty fucking strong.
It's pretty strong.
It's not unbeatable.
Black Wings has a pretty easy way to just get rid of that.
Was it Shurikalut?
Shurikalut. Make sure you get rid of the back row or a Black Rose play, but get rid of that equip spell first. But yeah, Black Wings is pretty well equipped to deal with that board specifically.
I know another deck that you personally really like is Christia Sworn. How do you feel about this deck going into the weekend? Because I think Christia Sworn is actually pretty good against these plant decks. You have Herald to make sure you don't just randomly die. And then you have a pretty solid late game. JD just beats the Gigavice board single-handedly, and Christia is pretty good against it too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's also another deck that I considered bringing this weekend as well. But I don't think as many people are on the Giga Forgs anymore from what I've noticed. Because I just came back from Houston too, and I did not notice that many people playing those decks. It's not as prevalent as your top three: Black Wings, Hero Frogs, and Vayu.
Yeah, totally. I actually am surprised at how low it was.
A lot of people do play this deck though, the Machina control deck.
This deck is very popular, and now gadgets as well.
Oh yeah, there have been a lot of people playing what's it called? Gadget Machina.
It's had more success in the last few tournaments. It top 8'd both RBET LA and what was the
Houston.
Top 8 is Houston as well. So it's had pretty good showings. Better showings than both Gigaplant and Forks. And also Christia Sworn. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Christia Sworn didn't top LA. I think Twilight topped it, if I remember correctly. Twilight and Rescue Cat. There were some weird decks that topped that tournament.
Still Amaryllis, especially after.
Still Amaryllis, yeah, definitely. How many people we got? Is this even worth doing right now? I'm just kidding. 12 viewers. Everyone's asleep. Okay. Gearframe is a ridiculous card. Facts. Heroes. Speaking of Gearframe-esque, Stratos. Do you think that there's a hero deck that can compete? Because Diva Hero did win RBTLA. And didn't it also top Houston as well?
Heroes? Yeah, the Diva Hero did top Houston. But I feel if you're playing Heroes, we're thinking more of either Diva Hero or Frog Heroes. right? Like traditional hero beat is not really a thing anymore.
I wonder why that deck fell off so hard. Do you know why it fell off so hard?
She probably just gets blown out by the combo decks and frogs.
Yeah, Frogs is probably a rough matchup unless they have like a very dedicated side for it.
X Sabers.
X Saber's not bad. I think that deck is like it's another Gigaplant style deck where like you might be able to like cheese people with like a Fall Troll combo 7 times in a row and make top 8, right? Like that just might happen. 2 Hero Frog, top 8 Houston without Dupe Frog, which is crazy to you. What do you think of the build? We were actually just discussing this.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I personally know those players as well. And those guys are really insane. I think that list, you have to be really on top of your game to play it. But it is definitely a lot more aggressive, which is, I know, one thing that you noticed about it as well.
Yeah, I love that list. I actually think it's very, very good.
Super consistent.
Yeah, the consistent Strato starts, you're not drawing a ton of frogs, which has always been my complaint about the frog decks, is like, when you draw a bunch of frogs, you're just like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. You have to like fight such an uphill battle to convert them into real cards. So, I really like that list. I think that one is a list to look out for moving forward, Sora.
You do run into, with that list, sometimes your E-calls or Rotas are dead.
Yeah.
But you could just pitch them with Regeki Break.
Yeah, you can. I wonder, is there any other way to pitch them? Do they play like Fishborg or Lightning Vortex? They don't, right?
No Fishborg, no Lightning Vortex.
Hector the Goat says LK. Do you know who that is?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, we are here with Hector the Goat. He's 2nd place Nats, 1st place RBET Los Angeles. Well, just list it off. Just go check him out. You already know. You're mad you didn't get their profile on your channel. Hector, would have loved to hear their thought process. You could probably still hit them up if you want.
No, they don't do deck profiles, unfortunately.
Oh, is that like kind of their MO?
Yeah. They didn't even want their list to be released, and I didn't want it to be released either, to be honest, because I was gonna low-key start playing their list.
Konami posted it, right?
Yeah, Konami posted it.
That's weird. They normally don't, do they?
No.
That was like...
This is the first time I think they posted like top 4 once.
Yeah,
before.
But this is like the first time they did the full...
Yeah.
The full thing. He lost to Value Turbo in the finals, right? Or he didn't make it to the finals. I don't remember.
Neither one of them made it to the finals, so...
I see.
Dirk lost to the frog. No, not the frog deck. He's playing frogs. To the gadget deck in top 8.
That deck is a beast.
Yeah, I think that deck just probably has a awkwardly good matchup. Yeah, get some red gadgets in here.
Yeah, let's get some of these guys. I think this is the weekend for these guys. If it's gonna do well, I mean.
Yeah.
It's also on
maybe like cat's out of the bag. Maybe some people have some extra Cyber Dragons or System Downs in their side deck for this weekend. Who knows?
Yeah, possibly. That's totally consideration. Or maybe like someone who had cut Pulling the Rug is back on Pulling the Rug.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why this deck was doing so well is that Pulling the Rug was at an all-time low.
Oh, and then Pulling the Rug is also pretty good against the Dupless Frog deck too, because it plays more than just 3 or 4 Monarchs. Yeah. And it sees Straddles pretty much every game. Yeah. And you want to make sure you just get rid of that.
Let's put Pulling the Rug in our predictions of cards to do well this weekend. Because I think that, like, against the newer style decks that are punishing Pulling the Rug being gone, it's definitely on the comeback. This card's pretty busted. Every time I resolve it, I feel like a god.
Yeah.
It's pretty much cheating. It's
a turn skip.
Yeah, it's like a solemn judgment that doesn't cost life points. It's really nice. Yeah.
And then RJ lost to the winner. But still, like, really good showing by both of them. The fact that Dirk was undefeated day 1, and I mean RJ, I've known him for over 13 years, and he's always been like one of the players that I always need to try beat. You know, I would say he's probably better than me, to be honest.
The struggle player at your locals or whatever it is.
He's really good. I mean, he's got YCS tops, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, you were saying this on the way here too, that there's just a shitload of talent. Like, there's a lot of good players now, and so.
Yeah, like everyone has leveled up. Like, I've noticed the level of everyone's play is just a lot more solid, and it's a lot harder to win games now, and it's even to the point where like games are too close where you might even get a game stolen from you where you weren't have by the same player last year.
Yeah, exactly. And like things like little things like just a random tech card can get you a lot of mileage because it can throw even like a really good player off their game, or like cause them to misplay in a way that they normally wouldn't have.
Yeah, and that's usually the way I like to think about the deck is like making your deck a little bit different where it's like unexpected, a bit more of a surprise factor. And I mean, that's what I always try to do to give myself the slightest edge.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. That's why like I usually play like a lot of off meta shit, especially on the channel because I like to experiment with stuff and I get so many wins against people who just like they're like I have no idea what your deck does and
Yeah.
as a result they have no prep and then that lack of prep is just enough to give you that winning matchup, which is really nice.
Maybe that's why I like Black Wings a lot because it just feels solid against no matter what you play.
Yeah, it really bullies like rogue decks for sure. Like you get paired up against like I don't know, quick draw or something like that, and you're just like, I'm gonna pierce your tokens.
Oh, yeah.
It's like nice drill warrior, royal oppression. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
so,
or like a deck like a Vayu might struggle, like you said, like getting rid of the tokens. It has to take like a whole extra turn just to get rid of tokens and then start doing damage.
exactly. Yeah, Black Wings is definitely better into the rogue decks than Bayou Turbo is for sure. And also I think like one thing that like Black Wings has going for it is it's kind of king of the like really strong normal summon deck. Like you have the best normal summons in the format, and it's not close. Like Sirocco is the best normal summon that doesn't take a tribute, like stat wise, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just like there are decks like Glads where like you just summon a Sirocco and they're just like they're forced to act, whereas you're never really in a position where you're forced to act because you're the one demanding the. You know what I'm trying to say. You're demanding the response basically. So. Against a lot of rogue decks, there isn't really anything that's like stronger than a Sirocco outside of like Jane or Cyber Dragon or whatever. So when you summon a Sirocco, you can kind of put a lot of decks in that position where it's like you have to deal with this, and some decks just aren't equipped to do it. But yeah,
Pascal says Damage Condenser. You a fan of that card?
I was trying it the other day. I was trying it in X Sabers, and I thought it was good. I was only playing one though.
I know people are taking it in a Giga Plant.
Yeah, they were playing it. I think the list that went undefeated at the Southside Gaming played Damage Condenser. I also think that Damage Condenser is a card that makes Forks better. Because you take any amount of damage and you just get Substitute from your deck, or if you already have Substitute, you can get Dandelion. And then it gives you a bunch of
Or
bodies.
you could get
Fishboard.
yeah. Just get the missing part of the engine that you don't have yet.
The awkward part is it does take a card, but...
Yeah. And in Forks, you need your cards, so...
Yeah, you really need your cards. But it is... I think, like, playing one of it is, like, not bad. And you can get people off guard, like...
Oh, you could discard a Dandy, though.
Yeah.
Discarding a Dandy might be hot.
Yeah, exactly. Needle Sealings to do with Forks and Giga. I think Needle Sealing is good. I think it's a great card. If your deck can support it, I would absolutely play it in the side.
Yeah, RJ and Dirk maxed out on that card.
Yeah, it's very good. It's like Regeki, basically.
Yeah.
There's another card that not many decks can support it, but this is a very similar card that I think is busted, and it's one-sided. So if you have a level 7 or higher monster, you can destroy all face-up level 5 or lower monsters your opponent controls. So it's just a one-sided torrential. That's fucking insane. So for certain decks where you can easily put up a level 7 or higher monster, whether that's like a Red Eyes or a Machina Fortress, this is another card for consideration that might work a little bit better depending on your deck than Needle Sealing. So there are some comparable cards that are pretty strong, but Needle Sealing is a fantastic card. I cited it at Nats in 2023, and every game I drew it, I won, except for one where my opponent lucky sniped it 1 out of 5 with a Dust Tornado.
No way.
Yeah, I know. And I would have won the game if he didn't lucky snipe it. And I was like, all right, well, sometimes that happens. So, but this card is very good. I think if you can play it, play it. How do you feel about it? You think it's good?
Needle Sealing?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. If you could play it, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Like I said, Dirk and RJ maxed out on it. Because, I mean, they could get free Treeborn, that's one monster, and then your opponent's going to have the rest of the monsters, probably.
Yeah, you just force them to commit into it. Yeah. It seems really nice. Even if you're just like, you have like a Treeborn and like, whatever, a Stratos lying around.
Even if you have like like I said, like a Stratos, it's like your Stratos already got a card for you, so it already replaced itself.
or even like a swap frog or something like that. It's very easy to get to 4 monsters. Like, so I do think this is a good card. I think this is a must play for like their style of frog hero deck. I really like this card in fairies too, because you can just be like, set Shining Angel, pass, and then they'll like do whatever, and then you can like set another guy and then set Needle Sealing, and it's like if they commit more, or if they try to synchro to get through your walls, you just Needle Sealing 2 for 1. It's like Treacherous Trap Hole in that deck. It's very strong. So I've been thinking about like a fairy deck that plays like up to 3 copies of this as well. And then we did see at the last RBET, he didn't end up topping, but he was playing the flip deck Pac-Man with 3 Needle Sealing. Looked really cool. Do you know if they played against Forest or Giga and if Needle Sealing helped them? I imagine it did.
That and also the fact that they were maxing out on Vanity's Fiend and Fossil Dino. Well, they weren't maxing out on Fossil Dino, but 3 Vanity's Fiend, 2 Dino.
Yeah. Sora says, you feel like the Forest matchup is bad for Hero Frogs. Seems like they were teched out for it. And
yeah, they just heavy-sided against it.
If that's like one of those decks where like it does one thing, and if you engage with that one thing, like you have Mask Restrict, Dyna, Vanities, whatever, if you engage with that one thing, they can't play the game. So they're basically forced to out your Floodgate, or else they can't do anything. They have no B plan.
And they also were citing Solemn Judgment to protect their win
vanities.
condition. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were forcing them to have two outs to the Floodgate. So if you're struggling with like really linear combos like that, just choke them where it matters, which is the Substitute and defend that choke point. That's generally speaking how it goes. It's just because you a lot of sidecars, but true as fuck. And that's another thing too, is like Needle Sealing is good against other decks. Vanity's Fiend is good against other decks. It's not like these cards are like just for the combo decks, but the fact that they also happen to cover those is obviously what brought them a lot of success. So yeah, no, I really like that list. I think that like if someone played that list this weekend, they'd top straight up.
Yeah, it's a really solid list, and game 1 it probably has one of the best matchups against. For sure, Vayu. I know Blackwings. It just depends how the Blackwing player opens, like how aggro they are and stuff.
Yeah, if you have a Whirlwind draw, it might be kind of tough for them. And you go first. It's like Whirlwind draw going first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know Blackwings is a pretty 50-50-ish matchup, but Vayu is pretty free, and like any flip decks or face down decks are pretty free. And by face down decks, I mean like decks that play like either like Recruiters or like Hamster Raikos, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Stratos run into Raikou is always good, and Hamster gets ignored by all the Monarchs usually. So, especially if you have the initiative, like if you went first, setting a Hamster into that is like it's just terrible. It's like you mulligan. Yeah, I think that's a deck that I would predict to do well. How do you represent Hero Frogs? What's like a card that's unique to them? Miracle Fusion, I guess. Maybe Needle Sealing. No, I don't know how to.
Not Dupe Frog anymore, apparently.
Yeah, not Dupe Frog. Let's see. What's a card that's like unique to that deck? I guess like Malicious Edge. That's like something that only that plays. That's true. I think this deck would do really well this weekend. That's my prediction. I think it'll top if someone's playing it. You think DNA Surgery could have some place in sideboards? Probably not. No. It seems a little underpowered. Like, in theory, you could DNA Surgery someone and then wipe their board with a Cyber Dragon, but you're citing in 2 cards that you have to draw both of them to do anything. Like, DNA Surgery on its own does nothing, and Cyber Dragon on its own, in a lot of cases, like, let's say there's, like, Titanial Gigaplant, Cyber Dragon's not breaking that without the DNA Surgery. So you need both of those cards to do something. You're citing in an AB combo. It's generally a losing strategy. I think that if you're looking for a similar card that, like, ruins type-based effects, Zombie World's a little better, personally, because it stops the tribute summons. What do you think of Zombie World? Have you played anyone who's used this card lately?
No, I haven't, actually, but, I mean, it makes sense. I think most people, when they side this card, they side against, like, frogs.
That's interesting. I think it's really good against Gigaplant. It's also really good against dragons.
You know, think about before, like when I did used to see that in side decks.
Like earlier and
yeah,
before Gigaplant was as popular or whatever. It's also not bad against like the Christia decks because it shuts off Christia, and it's really good against Amaryllis. It's interesting against Blackwing. It can maybe buy you a Book of Moon or shut off an Icarus attack, but it's not like amazing. You would sight in one if you're like on zombies or something like that, but only if you have something bad to take out. It is interesting if you're playing zombies. You can Zombie World and then you can loop Consecrated Light versus Blackwings, which is pretty funny. But yeah, once again, sighting in AB combos is not exactly ideal.
What do you think about zombies for this weekend?
I think that deck sucks. Like personally, I've played against it a bunch, and like, man, the Diva Zombie deck specifically is like, it's so slow. Like you have to summon a really weak monster, and then you have to survive a turn, and like it has to stay in play, and then you have to summon this other monster, and you have to make sure you didn't draw the other one, and then once you do that, you have to make sure your synchro play goes through. So you need like a trap stone on top of that, and then once that goes through, you still need an extender to even deal 8,000. So it's like, I think that type of zombie list is a little bit antiquated. I've played different zombie lists lately, like Instant Fusion Zombie. That one seems a lot stronger, seems more resilient. You have a good going second game. And I've also played like the skill drain zombie decks. I think that is a strong way to approach zombies, is with like main deck skill drains.
I know you're also a fan of like the tele package.
Yeah.
Like Well Dead.
Yeah, I think that emergency teleport is insanely broken. This card is super busted. Because you can, like, unlike the... What's up, Cyberhorn? How you doing? There's a... You know when you have, like, the Diva and the Goblin Zombie? It's like you have to wait a whole turn cycle. That's really fucking slow. But with Teleport, you can just make the play. And it's like, you don't need anything in play. You can just go, like, Heavy Storm, make the play. And then you don't have to wait, you know? And you don't have to, like, engage with the opponent.
I think Cyberhorn's going to be here this weekend.
He is. He did really well at the... Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The team event. Yeah. I think their team got second. They're all natives to Las Vegas, so all three of them I think should be here this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah. We got some strong players here. I like hadn't been going to a lot of locals for a few months, but I went to one recently and there were a lot of people in it. It was pretty strong. Like just watching some of the games, I'm like, man, people got better.
I feel like Westside also plays like different stuff too.
Yeah. They're all on some, like, fucking cooked shit, dude. Like, there was some guy playing Norlares. There was some guy playing, like, different Lightsworn builds, you know. What's up, Juan? Gigabyte's getting its first RBET top. What do you think over under Gigabyte's tops this tournament? Would you give it odds or would you give it not?
It just depends how many people play it, really.
Okay, let's say one person plays it.
No.
It's not topping?
No.
What if that one person is Marcus? You know what I mean? What if that one person is like a crack guy?
Okay, I guess.
Would you give them odds?
I would give them maybe like 30% odds. 33% odds.
The opposite of the 66? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. No, that works. I don't know about Gigaplanet topping. It would be cool. I know a couple good players are playing it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it tops. But I also know that the deck can kind of fold to itself, so that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's so like
it just depends how lucky they are, really.
Honestly, yeah. I think what's crazy is like going 7-1 is hard. Like with any deck, it's genuinely hard. Like, I think
we might not even get 7 rounds, will we?
No, we're at 8.
We're at 8 rounds?
On Saturday, yeah, I believe, yeah. We broke 8.
It has to be more than 152, right? No, wait. It's
128.
64, 120. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the next bracket.
8 rounds, then cut to top.
Yeah.
Cut to top 16, I believe. So, they have to go 7-1, which is... I think that's a lot harder
or
than
sneak in
6-1.
at 6-2. They could sneak in at 6-2.
Not in 128, could they? Oh, I guess they could. Could they? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess they could be 8th, right? Or, well, if we're cutting to top 16, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they could definitely. So I'll give it some more odds in that case.
Yeah, 6-2 is totally doable.
Yeah, I'll give it at least 50%.
I think 6-2 is like the difference between 6-2 and 7-1 is so much. Winning that 7th match is so much harder than like there are some decks that I think are like 6-2 decks. Like Quick Draw is a great 6-2 deck, you know? 6 Samurai, that's a 6-2 deck. You know what I mean? But like 6 Samurai is not a 7-1 deck. It's not an 8-0 deck, you know? So.
And then it has to win the playoff brackets.
Yeah, that's true. It'd have to win the top 16 match as well to make it to the top 8. So, what, 7-2? 6 Samurai's a great 2-6 deck. True. True, it is.
It is a great 2-6 deck, yeah.
You'll probably have a great time.
If you love 6 Sams,
shit,
go for it.
Oh, man, don't sleep on the Grandmaster, all right? Don't sleep. He's pretty strong. 2100, bigger than Sirocco, all right?
We got a player in Chicago that loves his 6 Sams, and he beats up on people. I'll tell you that much.
The people who play that deck have been playing that deck since, like, 2007. They've been playing for the last... They have it. It's in the same sleeves from 18 years ago. They haven't changed them. Just sneak a few keys on in there. That'd be crazy, man. That deck would be insane if it had keys on. It would be tier 0 if it had keys on. Straight up. Okay, so for the rest of the deck, that's the top 8. I think that Dupless Hero Frog deck is great. I think if someone good is playing it, it's an easy top cut.
Yeah.
I think that Gigaplant is 6-2. That's pretty safe. Let's just throw Blackwings up there because you're topping. I mean, I had you on the stream for a reason, right? Like you're top cutting, so at the very least.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
We need luck, man. We always need luck.
Just outplay, bro. Just outplay. Just 6 draw traps, bro.
6 draw traps.
Run it back. Run back the exact build, bro. It won already. Fuck it.
No, the meta has changed too much for that.
Yeah, I guess like against...
You have to play more real cards.
True. Yeah, there are some faster decks for sure now. Gadgets, I could see running it back, depending on if anyone's playing it. I don't know if anyone's playing it. Out of everyone I've talked to, not a single person has said they're playing Gadgets. So, okay. I just don't know if that's...
If it's even going to get a chance, right? If it's not in the room, it can't top.
Exactly. So, it's kind of the same thing you said with Gigaplant. It's like, if people are playing it, then it has higher chances. Which is kind of the same with every deck, but especially with like these high rolly style, can really go crazy if they do. I think Machina is always a solid pick. Like any Machina variant. Like if we just umbrella the Gadgets plus the Raikou plus the... I think it's safe to just say one of them will top.
Yeah.
Because that deck is gas. It's pretty good against the field too. I feel like it doesn't have bad matchups, it just has bad draws. Yeah. Like what... If you're a Machina player, what is your worst matchup?
Probably Frog Monarchs.
Oh, if you're playing the Raikou one. Yeah, but if you're playing Gadgets...
Oh, Gadgets, yeah.
Yeah, if you're playing Gadgets, then...
Then that's one of your easier matchups.
Yeah, so it's
or
like...
Hero Frogs, I should say, specifically. But same thing, like if you're playing the control version, you're struggling against Hero Frogs, but if you're playing Gadgets, you have a better matchup.
Gadgets might be a good pick for this weekend. Straight up, I'm like thinking about it, I'm like... It's not a bad deck to play. It's simple, so like you can easily like grind out rounds. It's hard to misplay with, even though I've managed to do that multiple times on camera.
The solidarity on the field, man, those Gadgets got pretty big.
Yeah.
22 beater right there, 2K beater.
I think the worst matchup for Machina is probably the plant decks, right? Like Amaryllis. Maybe not.
I think it might be able to struggle against Amaryllis because so the control version of Machina plays pretty similar to Vayu, but their broken card is Pot of Avarice versus like Dad Return Burial.
Interesting. I always felt that deck should just play limiter removal and just OTK people. Because you're playing 3 compulse. I mean, just like limiter removal. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, just win. Machina can run 3 Zombie World in the side for plants and fairy. It can. But then it can also draw 2 Zombie World when it needs a defensive card. You know what I mean? Like, that is true. Fairies is probably a really bad Machina match. Every time I play against Machina with fairies, I'm like, I can't lose. Because it's like you're playing against Blackwings that can't deck dev you and doesn't make catasters. So you're just like, all right, I win. Like
Gadgets do get deck dev, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I do get deck devs.
But then that's where the control version is a bit better, because against the control version, deck dev's not as good.
Oh, this is a good question. Alex says, what do you think the top 8 would be if there were only 8 decks played and everyone with the same size of players? So, like, an equal amount of people played it and there were only 8 decks played. Like, an equal amount of players are playing every single deck.
So we're just picking 8 decks. 8 different decks, right? Or
Yeah, but they all have equal representation.
Okay.
What do you think the top cut would look like?
well, top 3. So Blackwing, Vayu, Hero Frogs.
Probably Lightsworn.
Yeah, the Lightsworn.
Lightsworn would absolutely make it to the top.
Right, we're just talking about Machina, so a Machina variant.
I feel like Diva Hero is really good. I see Diva Hero topping.
That's 7, and we haven't even mentioned the combo decks either. So either Giga or Forex. I wouldn't really specifically choose one or the other.
Actually, you know what? I'm not that high on them anymore. I'm taking Gigaplant out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Gigaplant. If we had to pick 8, it'd be like Dupless Hero Frogs, Blackwings, Machina, whatever. Probably Diva Hero. Put a Diva there. Vayu Turbo, probably. Right?
Yep, Vayu.
Lightsworn. We said Lightsworn, so. Do you think Gigavice would make it into this cut? I feel like.
I would say it's either going to be Gigavice or Forgs.
But it wouldn't be both.
I don't think it would be both.
Monster Mash, says Joshua. That's funny. What's up, Cold Madness? How you doing? There will be a streaming for this event? Absolutely. I wouldn't throw an RBET if there was no stream. It'd be a waste of time. Yes. Dragon Control is the true best deck in the format. I didn't know there was a Dragon deck out deck. What are we doing? We're predicting... It says it in the title, doesn't it? Oh, maybe I typed the title wrong. We're doing RBET Las Vegas predictions. That's what we're doing. Because that's this weekend. That's what we're doing. Or do you mean this specific question? This specific question is... If 8 decks had equal representation, what do you think the top 8 would be? Or if every deck had equal representation, what do you think the top 8 would be? And I think that I would say there'd be 2 Lightsworns. I think there would just be 2 Lightsworn decks. I think that deck is better than it's represented. Like
Maybe.
Less people play it than Blackwings and Vayu by a lot.
Yeah.
But it tops almost every single tournament.
Yeah, I mean, if you have more people playing a deck that requires a lot of good mills, and you have a lot more people milling, you're gonna get a lot more good mills.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'd probably be like 2 Lightsworn variants, maybe like a Lightsworn, a Christia Sworn, something like that. Twilight Sworn. You think Christia Sworn is legit broken? It has hands where it's like unbeatable. So I don't know. You can comment on this. You played Christia Sworn at a bunch of events. I know you played it at RBT New York. I know you played it at some of your bigger Chicago events.
Yeah, I played at a couple monthlies as well. Probably did better at New York than any of the monthlies, so I had a chance to top at New York. While in the monthlies, I usually go like X2 drop with the deck.
Interesting. So what do you think about it? I know you play a pretty different build than the one in New York was very not typical, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the main thing I just did with the deck is try to throw 3 Recklesses in there. But Christia's powerful. Herald is really good. Like I think we were talking about how it's good against combo decks. Make sure they don't combo, stop them at the right time.
Yeah. Cole Menace is interesting. He says 2 Vayu, 2 Blackwing, 1 GB, 1 Diva Hero, 1 Life.
Oh, GB. We haven't even mentioned GBs yet.
I don't even think GB would be in the conversation. I think it would be Hero Frog, Blackwings. I think it would be 2 Lightsworn, man. If more people played Lightsworn, it would top so much more. That deck it's so frustrating to play against.
GB has been doing pretty good recently, though. I do gotta give him credit for that.
It does beat up on Lightsworn.
It beats up on Lightsworns. It kind of beats up on the combo decks, too.
It really bullies the combo decks. Like Gladiator Beast. I always sleep on it because it has a horrible Blackwing matchup, right?
It's actually closer than what most people think. I feel like it's probably like 55-45 favored Blackwings.
Huh.
But then it can also depend too, because a lot of times GB's main deck Starlight Road, and if you run into it, you're losing.
Yeah, they have a lot of cheese, for sure. Starlight Road is one of them. Trapstone's another cheese factor. But one thing I really dislike about GBs into Blackwings is just like they're one royal oppression away from just that's it. Like they're the ones who always have to put up two pieces, whereas Blackwing is always has to put up just one piece. Like they just have to summon Sirocco, and now Blackwings needs or Gladiators needs two cards, or they flip oppression, and now Gladiator needs two cards. So it's like in every exchange, Gladiator Beast needs more cards. And yes, they can cheese you with like Starlight Road or Geyser's Trapstone, Cold Wave, whatever, but it's every like micro interaction is really bad for it. You haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison in months since getting your mana material position. What's the best deck right now? That's up for debate.
I mean, so far for looking at results this year, probably Vayu has 2 Ultimate Time Wizard wins.
Blackwings has what? RBT. What won the first day of RBT? Was it 2 Blackwings? Did it win both days? No, it was Diva Hero. No, Diva Hero. Oh, Diva Hero has 1 win at RBT. Vayu Turbo has 2 wins. This, if we're just looking at this year, I don't know. It's kind of the same. Did Blackwings win an Ultimate Time Wizard?
No.
Amaryllis won one.
Yeah, the Australia one, and Forgs won the European one.
That was last year, though.
Was it at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think it was in like November or something. Yeah, Value's still number 1. I don't think Value's number 1 personally, but like being too results oriented about it is, I think, wrong. Has RBT ever resulted in card buyouts before? Every single one, yeah, results in card buyouts. Every single RBET has had that happen, like, and it's usually the card I put in the thumbnail. So yeah, there was that one where Raunak topped with the turbo cannon.
Oh yes.
And that card went to like $50 overnight. I still think about
that. That deck was fun. I remember picking that deck up and playing with it.
That deck is fun.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to think what else blew up because of RBET. Amaryllis did. That was definitely it started topping RBETs, and as a result it blew up in price. Starting with Carpath, he topped the first one with Amaryllis. I think he kind of pioneered the build, like the 3 Hidden Armory. Dark Gaia, if you're not wrong. Evil Hero Dark Gaia? That's topped 1 RBET, I believe. This deck is gas. What about Damage Condenser? That wasn't RBET related. I think that was more related to just like different hype. But I was definitely more reactionary to that. I didn't pump that card that much on stream or talk about it that much. Maybe... What's another card that's like popular now that wasn't a couple years ago?
I don't know, to be honest.
Likrins, I disagree. I don't think you can adapt Vayu as much as you think. The issue is that the deck is very reliant on Raikou and Hamster milling well. And Charge milling well. Saberhole. Oh, that is another one. But that wasn't RBET related. That was more Ultimate Time Wizard related. Legacy of Yatagarasu. You're literally the one you won with. What are we talking? Legacy of Yatagarasu is like
Legacy was already a thing. Legacy was actually because the fairy deck.
Oh, Pro Storms. Yeah. Yeah, it was already...
when he won Rulers with it.
But after you won, dude, the card was like bought out overnight. Because you won with 3, and then the guy who also got second had played 3.
Well, Jar of Greed then.
Yeah, Jar of Greed also went up as well. Iados, yeah, that was another one.
Guardian Iados, yep.
Yeah. I think almost every single RBT, there's a card that just like... Brute Drago, that was more Gemini related.
No, right? Recently it's because
Gigabytes, yeah,
plays this card.
This card's had a very tumultuous price history.
Card's so ugly.
It's so ugly but so strong. Have you ever had someone summon this against you and you're like looking at your oppression, you're like, fuck. You're looking at your Solemn Judgment, like,
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've had someone solemn this and I just bring back the Gigaplant and I make another one and they're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like a Scrap Dragon. You've played in format with Scrap Dragon?
Yeah.
Where it like, it's popped anywhere and then I love this card.
Well, most of the like scrap dragons that you destroy don't play other scraps.
That's true. Yeah, because
Like
they
it's
usually
just generic, yeah, generic removal.
debris dragon. Yeah, it's very rare that that effect actually comes up. Unless you're playing like the scrap deck with Chimera and stuff, or you're playing like the later format stuff with scrap wyvern. Have you seen this card? You've seen this card.
I haven't played against it.
Uh,
At least I don't think so.
there's a really cool combo where you can go scrap golem and bring out scrap recycler, and then
Yeah, I think just no one played it when I was still playing advanced format. No one played that deck.
I see. It's kind of a rogue deck, even when it was in. Virus value is a pain in the ass to deal with for sure. Yeah, anything that viruses you is really a pain in the ass. I think Lightsworn's really good against virus, though. That's like one of those decks where you're like, they deck dev you and you're like, alright, JD. Like, you're not even mad, really. Horn of Heaven is new. Is Horn of Heaven bought out, though? I feel like it has a lot of prints. I could be wrong. But, yeah, that was definitely the new tech after the last one. Secret Village, maybe.
We had the guy, what, top 16 or top 8'd?
Yeah, top 8'd with it. 7-1. Which is crazy. Because I played this deck and I went like 0-8. Skill issue. I think this card is terrible. I don't know how he got that far. The deck has like, it's all normal summons. And I was like playing it, I was just like, they would bottomless me and I'm looking at my Secret Village like it does nothing and I'm just like, I can't win the game. Chalice or Dyna, nah, those were expensive before because of Modern. Or like various formats.
What is this card good against? Just like combo decks?
Dude,
like
it's just a cheat card.
Edison's a trap format.
It is a trap format. It's a monster effect format too.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of decks that could just side out every single spell, and it wouldn't be that hard. But it's good against frogs. I think that's the big one.
Yeah.
It's like good against frogs, and it's like fine against like Lightsworn stuff. Stun becomes a more viable option because of surge of combo decks. Yeah, stun is basically Black Wings. This is like, I feel like if you're gonna play stun, you're hard pressed to not play Black Wings instead. Cause like the stun cards are like, aren't they not that good? I feel like if I'm drawing a Thunder King Ryo against a Vayu Turbo deck, I'm gonna be punching the air, man.
Yeah, Thunder King sucks in Edison.
Dude, it
But
sucks.
just
so
wait
bad.
1 year and it's like the best card in the format.
Yeah, I don't even understand how it works that bad, but it's so bad in Edison. Every time I try it, I'm like, shit, man, this card sucks. And like on paper, reads like a very strong card, right? But just Sirocco, Raikou, Caius, everything beats up on it. And if you like try to aggro people, it's just like set do prog, you know, Dandelion, set debris, like whatever. It all beats it. Everything beats it. I think I would lock in this 8. Like 2 Lightsworns, a Vayu, a Blackwing, a Diva Hero, a Machina, and then a Frog Hero.
You could take down the Lightsworn.
Take it down to 1.
Yeah.
And then you said 1 combo, right? Like
Yeah, one combo. Either 1 Giga or Forks. I personally like Forks a bit better.
Yeah. I know you were saying it's more consistent. You've played with the deck probably more than I have. Like you said you've played it at like your locals as well?
Yeah. It's broken. You get so many free wins.
Yeah.
Especially like game 1. Game 1 is like the freest. Games 2 and 3 can be a struggle sometimes because I know most people do the conversion side.
Yeah. Do you do the conversion side?
Yeah, I did the conversion side, but you kind of have to, because if not, you get blown out by just a lot of stuff deck does. Fossil Dino.
Yeah, Fossil Dino is really, really rough. Mask of Restrict too.
Yeah, so you side in like Breakers, Monarchs, Regeki Breaks.
That makes sense. Yeah. The Kaises especially. But don't you feel like that just like plays into what people would say? I don't know. Do you think
I feel like there might be like a middle ground where you could still keep a lot of the combo and still keep the broken part of your deck.
Yeah, because that's the part. Like I feel like why like taking it out is very counterintuitive. Yeah. Because having a good game 1 is great. Like that. Don't get me wrong. That's like it's a very good thing to have. But having a bad game 2 and game 3 is like, that's worse than having a good game 1, generally speaking, because it's 2 bad games versus 1 good game. And
Or you just gotta be good enough during one of them.
yeah, exactly right. You got
Because you're winning
draw it
like
out.
most of your game 1s.
Maybe you should play this deck tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but
Yes, tomorrow.
Frog OTK feels a bit broken. Starting every match like 1-0 is nasty. Game 1 it has too much gas. I've played against it a bunch recently, and I don't feel that way, at all. But because I was helping Swagger test with it, and I was playtesting online with it, to see like if it was like legit. But yeah, I've played against it a bunch, and even game 1, I don't feel like there are a lot of decks that just kind of like their broken draws are better than the Frog broken draws, because the Frog broken draw you need a lot of moving parts, and you also can't act into oppression. So there's like a lot of cards that just like full stop you. But yeah, you can definitely bully new players with it for sure.
Well, Oppression's not really that main deck that much right now.
Yeah, that's
Believe
true.
it or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
If people are cutting oppression, then like the deck that loses to oppression is going to get a lot better. Game 1, yeah, for sure. Don't cut oppression, kids. Even though we just talked about it. No, I wouldn't. I think that card's too good. Even in the matchups where it's like kind of bad, like you still stop dad. Like you stop the card that beats you.
Does stop dad. Stops Plague plays.
Yeah.
Or Blizzard plays.
Stops flip hamster capo. Not that anyone does that.
That's some extra cope.
Special grepper. It stops special grepper. You don't think it will too, but we need quick draw on the list. I think quick draw is really good. I actually like think it's like super duper underplayed. If an equal amount of people are playing quick draw, then like these decks, it's for sure doing well.
No, you could take quick draw out of there.
What are you talking about? This went undefeated at the tournament you won in Swiss. It also went
deck that was a main deck back then. In 2s.
I guess, yeah, but then it was main decked, and then it had the best tournament run of 2024. Swifty went 12-0 with it.
Where?
RBET?
Which one?
It was online.
Online?
Or was it 12-0 or was it 13-0? It was he slept through round 1. He showed up and then he won like 13. He won like 13 rounds straight.
I tried to remember that one.
Yeah, and he won through deck dev turn 1 like multiple times on camera. So I don't know. I think the deck is very slept on, especially the hero build. The hero build is the best for sure. With Future Fusion, because Future Fusion is like turn 1 Future Fusion to Redragon is so broken. That is like just a ridiculous play. Because you're plus so much. You have 3 tokens, and then you're also getting a Gaia in 2 turns, and like you have one of the best synchros in the game in play. Like turn 1, it's almost like a Gigavice. It's like Gigavice light, basically. But you also get to play like a heavier chop lineup, because whatever, and you have a good grind game into like Value Turbo. I think Quick Draw is really good into Value Turbo, and it's really good into Frogs. It's just horrible against Blackwings. I can see why you think it's bad, because if you play a lot of Blackwings, the deck definitely feels bad. What is the LVMH? What is that? What is LVMH?
Builds.
LVMH? Is this a D's nuts joke? I feel like they're getting it. Road Warrior's fun, but it's not. It's definitely not optimal. The hero build is definitely the most competitive. I think it's more competitive than Gigavice. Maybe not.
That's
Lifeform
Volcanic.
I think Volcanic Shell is a bad card. It costs life points.
Yep.
Which is like a big deal, and you can just draw 2 of them, which is so bad. Have you ever played like with Volcanic Shell before, or not really?
I played against it, man. Yeah, they
drew 2 shell.
Yeah, or even just paying 1,500 is a lot. You're gonna get your tokens pierced by Bora. That's game.
The life point cost is that's the worst part of it for sure. Hand control is interesting. There are some decks that like hand control. There's like Virus Vayu and like there's that Virus Dragon deck, and there's like the Water Art Frog style decks with Thistals and shit that I was talking about earlier. That I've seen pop up a lot lately. I think,
Yeah, I mean, Dust Shoot's a good card. Might as well try to play more copies of it in some form.
yeah, I think that those styles of decks, like decks that are trying to control the hand, like X Sabers,
Mm-hmm.
they have a pretty good time into like some of the other combo decks because they can pressure the hand
Yep.
in the stalled games, and then if they are uninterrupted, then their combo goes way over the top of the other combos. Having Rocket and Gear Frame for your normal summons that don't die to DTV is great against Blackwing and Vayu until you get a Rug flipped on you, because Rug is good against Rocket, Gear Frame, Debris, and Caius, so it stops most of your deck. That's my biggest issue with playing too many of that style of effect.
Not too many people are playing Ruggo.
That's true. That's true.
But I still don't think Quick draws it.
A deck is gas. It had three undefeated in Swiss runs last year, which is more than I think any single deck except Blackwings. Blackwings was the only deck that had more undefeated in Swiss than Quick Draw. It's also heavily underplayed. Like
Yeah, that too, actually.
in any given tournament, there's like maybe 2-3 people playing Quick Draw, but the deck is solid. It also won the Shonen. Like that tournament was huge. We can't really discredit like a run, even though it's like very dated, because Blackwings did exist back then. It's not like it wasn't a very popular deck at the time. Remember vid with Joshua Smith, old Quick Draw Volcanic with 3 Crow in the main? Deck seems like it can answer anything until you draw an opening hand. Yeah, the opening hand is worse. Do not sleep on Dragon Turbo, even if you don't think it will top because it's underrepresented. What do you think?
I love Dragon Turbo, but if you're playing a OTK combo deck, there are better OTK combo decks now.
I think every single OTK combo deck beats Dragon Turbo, and then the decks that beat those decks beat Dragon Turbo, like Glads. It's in a bad spot. I think if you're playing dragons right now, you're probably trying to play like a dragon like stun deck with like Dragos and a lot of back row. You have a recent video of it, or recommend anyone else's video? Yeah, I have a video with Swifty. Go check that one out, because he's the guy who did really well with it, and he's like consistently like top rated on the ladder with Hero Quick Draw. Dragon Turbo is a sleeper, as in your opponent is sleeping. I don't know. I feel like Dragon Turbo, it was better when everyone was playing like draw traps and shit like that, you know what I mean? But now it's like, it's tough. If you're a Dragon Turbo fan, it's tough out here. I'm not saying it can't be done.
It is tough. Trust me, I'm a Dragon Turbo deck. I haven't touched that deck in months.
Yeah. Dragon Turbo gets worse the more rounds you have to play, right? Chances of brick hands increase with each round. I agree, yeah. That's the same with every combo deck, though, because every combo deck has a very low floor. So the larger the number of rounds, the more like the consistent decks like Blackwings, Vayu Turbo, Quick Draw Frogs, like the Machina, Hamster Reiko decks, the more those decks start to really shine. Because right now, like, it's kind of weird to talk about like RBET as like this super legit thing. They're basically just regionals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not like, we're not in the territory of like a YCS level tournament. And we still don't really know what like a 16 round tournament of Edison would look like as of right now, in theory. Like you could obviously like speculate based off of like you could stack 2 RBTs on top of each other or something like that, but the only like YCS level tournament we've had for this format was in 2010, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly, but yeah, I don't know. Also, like combo decks, decision fatigue is very real in longer round tournaments. Decks that are hard to play are not very good tournament decks. I agree. After 8 rounds, the play likelihood of misplaying is very high, and combo decks tend to punish misplays much more than Blackwing or Vayu. Yes. Yeah, if you make a mistake in a combo deck, you're usually cooked. Or like a higher skill density deck.
How do advanced format people do it?
Because
all their decks are combo decks. You can't misplay at all.
From what I've heard, Adderall, and a lot of it. They just take PEDs. It's like a serious problem. Like, I've heard from a couple of players like on the low that like that the stimulant abuse is like at like 50%.
No, that's right. Now I remember. That's right. That was a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing, I
Yeah.
guess.
Someone said, or straight
Allegedly.
up. Allegedly, yeah. Oh. That's, Jesus. Imagine like frying your brain on like an addictive substance, trying to win an air fryer. It's like, what are you, bro? Go take the SATs. Like, go do something that you'll actually get somewhere in life from from the boost. Like, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna turbo fry your brain. Letterkenny. Doping testing for advanced. That's something that people have talked about in esports as well, like fighting games and other games that are high API. What is it? High actions per minute. Is that there's a lot of issues with it as well. What's the easiest deck to play that can win an Edison tournament? Probably Machina Gadget. Probably. That deck is very easy. What do you think?
I mean, easiest answer is probably Blackwings because the entry level to Blackwings is pretty low. But also to play Blackwings at the highest of highest level, your skill has to be like way up as well. So it has both a really easy entry, but also so much moment what do you want to say? So much room for growth.
Yeah.
Room for growth, room for optimizing.
Yeah, Blackwings is high floor, high ceiling. Machina Gadget, Lightsworn maybe. I usually recommend Lightsworn or like Frog Monarchs to new players because they're like pretty linear, and it lets you get a feel for the game.
Yeah.
And if it's a player who I think is like really interested, I'd recommend Quick Draw. I think it's a really good deck for learning the format because you learn about synchros, you learn about like milling and resources. It's a harder deck for new players, but it teaches you more. So it just depends on like, but since your goal is to just win a tournament with an easy deck, I'd probably say Blackwings, Machina Gadget, Lightsworn. One of those three. Lightsworn seems like it doesn't take a ton of skill to mill a wolf. Diva Hero Beat is also pretty easy. Diva Hero Beat has never won an Edison tournament. So, yeah. I think the question was, was it to top attorney? Okay, top attorney. Okay, it wasn't to win.
Even to top, Diva Hero B might not be the best with the combo decks running around now.
Yeah, I also don't even think Diva Hero Beat is the best Hero Beat deck. I think like the Stun Hero Beat is probably better. That one has more results historically.
It does, yeah.
And it's also done pretty well recently. I know Eric Shen was piloting it recently at like one of your guys' local tournaments. He posted about it. I was looking at it. Looked pretty interesting. Norlaris time. Norlaris is pretty good against all these combo decks. Norlaris definitely bullies them.
Oh yeah, good luck playing with no cards.
Yeah. Question was to win, not just top. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was to win. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I didn't read it right. I read the response to it.
But either way, we answered both.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think this pretty much sums it up. I think if you can beat, like, these decks up here and then you have, like, at least somewhat of a plan versus the combo decks, then you're probably looking pretty good to beat everyone at RBET.
Or use one of those decks and beat the rest of them.
Exactly. And be prepared for the mirror. Or dodge the mirror, because you're one of the people playing it.
Yeah.
That means no one else can play it, right? No, I'm just kidding. For LVMH, would you say the deck gets better at cutting the Volcanic package and bulking up the Machina package? Yes. I think Machina Quick Draw, that was undefeated in Swiss at RBT LA last year.
Yep.
So that deck has performed definitely better. It's also had some random tournament results here and there at like Ultimate Time Wizards. So Machina Quick Draw is definitely more competent than...
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of that specific version of Quick Draw.
It's really solid. Because, like, the Quick Draw is never dead. You can always pitch it to Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
You can't get too fucked by deck dev because you have gear frame. So it does get fucked by oppression, but whatever. Like you said, not a lot of people are maining it, so I don't know. I think this sums it up pretty well though. I think like these are like your safe predictions. If we had to throw in a wild card, it'd probably be like Forge, Gigaplants, maybe like an X Sabers or something like that. Glads would be a wild card. Norlaris Dragons or Vayu? Ooh, what do you think? Norlaris Dragons or Norlaris Vayu?
Well, Norlaris, which one had RBE tops? Both of them, or just
Both of them. I think Dragons has more.
Dragons has more, but those are like older.
They're both old.
Yeah.
They're both like 2023-ish, I think. Yeah. And all of them are by the same person. The same person is topped. There's only...
Is that Pizza?
Yeah, he's the only person who's topped an RBET with Norlaris, and he's topped like several. Which is crazy.
I think maybe Norlaris Vayu, because you could do more with the deck. You could play more, I guess, with the deck.
Dude, Future Fusion's too cracked. It's too cracked.
Future Fusion is insane.
What's the best result that HeroBeat has got in RBET? Second place RBET Rulers, 2022, I believe. It lost to Pro Storm on Fairies in the finals. It was Indicid playing HeroBeat. Another L for Canada, SMH. Just kidding. Yeah. What do you think of Swifty's Road Warrior list? I think the one he played in the RBET is better, but the Road Warrior one is cool. For sure. Yeah. That's pretty much that. Dragons have a higher ceiling, but Vayu is a bit more consistent. This is the...
Yeah, that was the angle I was kind of getting at. It's like the consistency. Like, you want to be able to play, right?
Yeah, I think so. The deck needs consistency. Well, if you're going for consistency, you're not playing Norlaris to begin with.
That's also a valid point.
Like, you would just play Vayu Turbo. Like, if you wanted consistent low ceiling, you would just not play a Norlaris deck. So if you're already playing a Norlaris deck, you might as well play the high ceiling one. Right? That's my logic on it, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think we can call it here. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We got to go to bed. We got to be up in like a few hours to go set up the venue and have meetings with the staff and all that good shit. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're entering an RBET Las Vegas, there will be an info video tomorrow coming out about it. And then there will be a stream of each RBET Saturday and Sunday. 2 different RBETs this weekend. As of right now, there's about 150 people entered for day 1 and about 80 people entered for day 2. So it's going to be pretty big. Swifty does have a channel. Check him out. So does HT19. Check him out. Subscribe to him. Get him some love. Great player. Always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was super fun. Yeah, HT19 Yu-Gi-Oh! Subscribe if you are so kind. And yeah, this was cool.
Yes, Sora. The stream will be on this channel. So